Chapter 6.2-3 Circles. Now, circles has in the center of a circle, right in the middle, and when you connect a center, a line from center of a circle to the side of a circle, it's called a radius. Now, the side of the circle, or like a perimeter of a circle, is also known as the circumference. And when you draw a line through the center all the way across, you connect from one side of the circle to the other, it's called diameter. So a diameter is 2 times the radius. Okay, and the formula for circumference is 2 pi r, and the area for a circle is pi r squared. Now, pi is approximately equal to 3.14. All right, so let's take a look at some applications. Find the diameter, circumference, and area of a circle below. Be sure to include in units. Okay. Now you have a circle here with a radius of 5 kilometers. So the diameter is twice as much, so it's 10 kilometers. Circumference is 2 pi r, so 2 times 3.14 times 5. So the answer is 31.4 kilometers. Now notice the units are all kilometers. Again, except area is kilometers squared. So the area equal to pi r squared. So pi is 3.14 times 5 squared equal to 78.5 kilometers squared. When you have a combination figure like this, now you have a semicircle plus a rectangle on the bottom here. Okay, so what's the perimeter and area? Well, the perimeter of the top, the half of a circle is half, that's 1/2, 2 pi r. So 1/2 times 2 times 3.14 times 10 equal to 31.4. That's the perimeter of this top half of the shape. And the perimeter for the rest of it, this right here is 42 down, 20 across, and 42 up. So 42 plus 20 plus 42 plus the semicircle circumference on top, half the circumference 31.4, together is 135.4 inches. Now off to area. Now again, it's half of a circle, so area is half pi r squared. 1/2 times 3.14 times 10 squared equal to 157 inches squared. And the rectangle on the bottom is 42 by 20, so 42 times 20 plus the 157, that's a semicircle, so together is a 997 inches squared. Here's another example. It's more like an ice cream cone here, except instead of semicircle and a rectangle, you have a semicircle and a triangle. So the thing about triangle is we're missing the height of the triangle. So if you cut this cone on the bottom here into half, if you just focus on half of this triangle here, you can use Pythagorean theorem to figure out how long this cone is, right? Which is the height of the triangle. So x squared plus 2 squared equal to 6 squared. 6 is the longest side. That's hypotenuse. We use what we learned from before. We find x equal to approximately 5.66. Now the circumference of the top half here, the semicircle, is 1/2. 2 times 3.14 times 2 is 1/2 2 pi r equal to 6.28 feet. And the parameter is 6 and 6. So it's 6 and 6 plus 6.28 is 18.28 feet in total. Now up to the going to the area. The top of the area here, the top area is half a circle, so it's 1/2 pi r squared, so you get 6.28. In the bottom here, the triangle is 1/2 base times height. Base is 4, height is 5.66, where we find using Pythagorean theorem earlier. So the bottom is 11.32 feet squared. So total area of the semicircle plus the triangle is 17.6 square feet. Last but not least, we're moving on to volume. Volume are 3D, right? 3D-dimensional solids. So here's some formulas for cube, for rectangular prism, and the pyramid. Now notice pyramid is only one is 1/3. Okay, so let's use this. If you have a cube with all the sides that's 6 meters, using the formula here, 6 to the 3rd power. So 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Notice the unit is meter cube. It's 3D, that's why it's cubed, right? It's meter times meter times meter, so it's meter cubed. Okay, and what's the volume of this pyramid? The using formula, volume equal to 1/3 base, the base area, so which is 4 times 3, and then times the height here, which is 8. So length times width times the height. When you multiply all that together, it's 32, again, feet cubic. Now, solid with a circular base, we call it, if instead of prism, we call it cylinder. Instead of pyramid, it's now a cone because they have what? Base that's circle. And here's the formula for it. Okay, so how do you apply this? Same thing. Right? If you have a cylinder here, the formula is pi r squared times h. That's 3.14 times the radius, 1 squared, times the height is 1.5. So answer is 4.71 meter cubed. Last but not least, you have a sphere. Now, sphere is like a ball. So the volume is 4/3 times pi r cubed. So using that to this shape right here, 4/3 times 3.14, radius is 3. And once you multiply all this on your calculator, you got 37.68 centimeter cubed. Okay. And you have the same shape before, but this time it's 3D. You have just like the one we have for ice cream cone, but this time it's a 3D figure. So we want to know the volume. The top right here is half of a sphere. So 1/2, the sphere is 4/3 times pi, 3.14 times the radius. Now be careful. This line right here, 4, is the whole thing, so that's diameter. But formula required to use radius is only 2. That's why we put 2 right here. So radius cubed. When you multiply all that, the top, the cone part of it, not cone, I'm sorry, the half sphere part is 16.75 cubic feet. Now the bottom right here is where you have a cone. So it's 1/2, okay, times 1/3, 3.14 times 2 squared, times the height, which is 5.66. Now, how do we find this 5.66? Well, what we have here is, again, just like the last question, we look at it, where we need to use the Pythagorean theorem again. So you have x squared plus 2 squared equal to 6 squared. Use Pythagorean theorem, find out the height of this cone here is 5.66. Once you multiply everything together, you get 11.85. You add up the top and the bottom. Volume total is 28.6 cubic feet.